Did you hear about Gary? Glad I won't ever need the psych ward.
What chance do you think there are of you being involuntarily committed to a psychiatric facility?
Zero.
Gary was placed in an involuntary hold after an argument with a family member. The family member had convinced the authorities that Gary, sweet, docile Gary, was a threat.
What? No, he'd have to have been, evaluated.
Whisked away, locked in a room for hours.
Hours? How many hours?
State laws differ, but in many, they have to do the evaluation within 24 hours.
But you can be sitting there for up to 24 hours?
And they can keep you 72 hours or up to 5 days in some states for observation without an official medical reason. There is no medical due process here.
To observe, if you might suddenly... What?
So imagine having a mental health crisis, maybe a panic attack, then being involuntarily locked in a room with delayed food, delayed access to restroom facilities. Maybe you're even abused by the medical staff, verbally or physically.
No.
Now imagine if this kind of facility didn't exist.
But then where would the...
And instead, consent-based community support organizations like Kiva centers were funded instead, where healing is fostered through meaningful connection with others who have traversed similar paths, where you have peer-run respite and round-the-clock support for individuals facing emotional distress.
Is that even possible?
It's what's been shown to be effective time and time again. Unlike these medical industrial complex facilities where the doctor is at best incentivized to involuntarily commit people and bill insurance or bill the state, your taxes.
Doctors want to help, not commit.
Want to know the quality of care? Look up Google reviews of long-term psychiatric facilities in your area. Not just from the patients, but family members devastated over how their sons, daughters, mothers, grandfathers were treated.
Oh, somehow that's not surprising.
Is any of this story actually surprising to you?
I mean, yes and no. Geez, I'm glad I don't have any family members who would commit.
You are right. You are less likely to experience this because you are white and mask presenting. Now imagine if you were racialized individually, or had a disability, or were trans. Somebody at the park might call the authorities and accuse you of acting mentally unstable, and then...
Yeesh.
What if you became unhoused?
They don't lock you up in an asylum because you become
They do now, thanks to Trump's executive order.
Damn, Republicans!
And even by Democratic governors, like in New York. That happened even before Trump's executive order.
What?
In fact, in 45 states now, consent laws have been rolled back. So being unhoused or unable to get health care is now used as proof you should be involuntarily committed.
So if you're committed, how do you get back on your feet?
At least if you go to prison, you get a time frame with parole board hearings for potential early release. Those systemic limits, safeguards on your rights and freedoms are far less rigorous and much harder to access in grippy sockland.
What do we do?
All of this is a decades-long bipartisan push towards eugenics. And as we fight authoritarianism, we have to push back. Not for things to go back to how they were, but to demand a consent-based society where community support, like Kiva centers, form the core of our mental health systems and laws.